The Third Testament, Section 4, the Law, the Love of Yah and Fellow Men. Chapter 18, Works of Charity and the Central Significance of Love. The retroactive grace of good works. Observe all the cases of human misery, pain, and need, and confronted by the sight of pain which everywhere surrounds you, let your heart become more sensitive. When you feel a generous and noble impulse to do good in the deepest part of your being, let that impulse overflow and manifest itself. It is the Ruach spirit that sends its message because it has found its body ready and disposed. Let charity be the first among your aspirations, and you will never repent for having been charitable, for through that virtue you shall have the greatest satisfactions and happiness of your existence, and obtain at the same time all the wisdom, strength, and elevation yearned for by a noble Ruach. Through charity for your brothers, you will purify your Ruach, repaying thereby old debts, ennobling your human life, and elevating your spiritual life. When you come to the door to which all come to call, your happiness will be very great, for you will hear the voice of welcome from the spiritual world that will bless you and call you to the work of regeneration and spirituality. Moreover, I say to you, blessed are those of my laborers who know how to feel in their hearts the sorrow of those deprived of liberty or health, and who visit and comfort them. For one day they will meet again, whether in this or another life, and you do not know if they might have better health and more freedom and light than those who brought the message of love to them in a prison or a hospital. It is then that they will respond with gratitude, giving a hand to those who in another time gave it to them. That moment when you made my word enter his heart, the moment when you passed your hand over his forehead and made him think of me and feel me, will never be erased from his Ruach, just as your face and your brotherly voice will never be erased, so that they will recognize you wherever you meet. In the same way that the breeze and the sunlight caress you, O my people, caress your fellow men. This is the time in which the poor and the needy are abundant. Keep in mind that he who asks for a favor is giving you the grace to be useful to others and to work toward your salvation. He gives you the opportunity to be merciful, and with it you can imitate your Father, because man is born to scatter the seed of righteousness throughout the world. Understand then that he who asks does you a favor. True and false charity. O my disciples, your greatest mission will be that of charity. Many times you will perform it secretly, without any display, not letting your left hand know what your right hand has given. But there will be occasions when your charity will have to be witnessed by your brethren in order for them to learn to share it. Forget about payment. I am the Father who rewards with justification the deeds of his children without neglecting a single one. I have told you that if you offer a glass of water with true charity, that gesture will not remain unrewarded. Blessed are those who, on approaching, say to me, Master, I expect no reward for my deeds. It is enough that I exist knowing that I am your son. so that my Ruach will be filled with happiness. Do not foster any egotistical interests, thinking only in your salvation and in your reward, because your disappointment will be very painful when you present yourselves in Ruach, because you shall find that in reality you are unable to work for any reward. So that you may better understand what I want to say to you, I give you the following example. There are and always have been men and women who have managed to perform charitable deeds among their brethren, and nevertheless, when they appear before me, they have not presented to me merits toward their spiritual happiness. And how did this come about? Can you conceive that they could have been victims of an injustice on their Father's behalf? The answer is simple. Disciples, they were not able to gather any benefit for themselves because their deeds were not sincere. Because when they extended their hand to give something, they never did it moved with a true feeling of charity toward the one who suffers, rather thinking of themselves in their salvation, in their reward. Some were moved by self-interest, others by vanity, and that is not true charity, because it was not heartfelt or unselfish. And I say to you that he who does not convey sincerity and love is not sowing the truth, nor is he working toward any reward. The apparent charity could provide you some satisfactions on earth that will arise from the admiration that you arouse and the adulation that you receive, but the apparent does not reach my kingdom. Only what is true reaches there. Everyone will reach that place without being able to conceal the least blemish or impurity, because before appearing before Elohim, you shall deprive yourself of mantles, crowns, insignias, titles, and all which pertain to the world, to present yourselves before the Supreme Judge as humble Ruachoth spirits, who are to respond before the Creator about the mission entrusted to them. He who from love seeks to serve his neighbor consecrates himself to the good on one of the many past life offers. He knows that he is a being who must allow himself to be used by the divine will for very high purposes. I wish you to come to know, O disciples, so that it may be you who free those who have lost the path of evolution from their errors. True love, that which is beyond the heart, is the fruit of wisdom. See how I, in my word, sow wisdom in you, in your understanding, and then wait for the fruit of your love. There are many ways to do good, many ways to console and serve. All of them are expressions of the love, which is one alone, the love that is the wisdom of the Ruach. Some can go on the road of science, and others on that of the Ruach, others on that of feelings, and the meeting place for them all will be spiritual harmony. Spiritual and material acts of love. If you are poor materially, and for that reason you are unable to help your fellow men, do not be afraid. Pray, and I will bring peace and enlightenment to those in need. True charity, which gives birth to compassion, is the best gift that you can offer to the needy. If there is no love in your heart when you offer your brethren money, bread, or a glass of water, truly I tell you that you have not given anything. It would be better for you to keep what you have given. Humanity when do you want to become aware of the power of love? You have not yet utilized that power, which is the origin of life. Do not see enemies, but brothers in all who surround you. Do not ask for punishment, so that you may give an example of forgiveness, and so there is no resentment in your rawak. Seal your lips and let me judge your cause. Heal the sick, help those who are unable to reason, and remove the spiritual beings that cause mental confusion. Help one and the other to become spiritually enlightened. Disciples, Talmudim. The maxim that I taught you in the second era, to love one another, is applicable to all the actions of your life. There are those who say to me, Master, how can I love my neighbor if I am an insignificant person whose life is dedicated to material work? To these little ones of mine, I say that even in that material work, apparently without importance, you can love your fellow men. If you do that work with a will to serve your brothers. Imagine how beautiful your life would be if each man would work thinking in doing good and would join his small effort to those of others. Truly, I can tell you that misery would be unknown, but the truth is that each one works for himself, thinking only of himself, and maybe in those closest to him. All of you need to understand that no one is sufficient unto themselves, and that he or she needs others. You must all learn that you are intimately bound to a universal mission that you must complete in unity, not, however, a unity from material obligations, but of intention, of inspiration, and of ideal. In a word, by love for one another. The fruit of this will then be of benefit to all. I tell you, Talmudim, disciples, in my law of love, if you cannot do perfect works like those I did in Yahushua, at least push yourselves to come close to them. It is enough for me to behold a bit of real will to imitate me, and a little bit of love for your fellow men, for me to help you and manifest my grace, favor, and power along your way. You will never be alone in the struggle. If I do not abandon you when you are doubled over by the weight of your sins, do you think I would abandon you when you are walking with the weight of the stake of this mission of love? The integral significance of love. Love has been the essence of my doctrine throughout the eras. Love is the essence of Elohim. From that strength, all beings take life. From it, all life and creation arose. Love is the beginning and the final destiny of all made by Abba, Father. Before that strength that moves, illuminates, and gives life to all things, death disappears, sin vanishes, negative passions fade, impurities are cleansed, and all that is imperfect is made perfect. I have revealed my existence and the reason for your own. I have revealed that the fire that gives life and animates all is love, and this is the principle from which all natures have sprung. And therefore you were born of love, exist for love, are forgiven out of love, and shall be in eternity through love. Love is the beginning of and the reason for your existence. O humanity, how could you live without that gift? Believe me, there are many who carry death within them, and others that are sick merely from not loving anyone. The balm that has saved many has been the love and divine gift that restores true life, that redeems and elevates, is also love. Love, for he who does not love bears deep sadness within himself, that of not possessing or feeling what is most beautiful and elevated in life. That was what Yahushua came to teach you with his life and death, and it is that which he bequeathed to you in his divine word, condensed in the phrase, love one another with that love that I have shown you. The day will come when those who have not loved, throwing off their bitterness and their prejudices, shall come and rest in me, where they shall return to life, hearing my sweet word of infinite tenderness. Truly, I tell you, in love is my strength, my wisdom, and my truth. It is like an infinite ladder that is seen in different forms, from those inferior to humans to those most elevated of the Ruach spirits who have achieved perfection. Love, though it be in your own way, but love always. Do not hate, for hate leaves a trail of death, while through love forgiveness is obtained and all malice erased. I tell you that who does not love, who does not manifest his love in the most elevated form and with absolute purity, lacks true knowledge, and very little shall he possess. In contrast, he who loves with all his Ruach and all the powers that have been given him shall bear within himself the light of wisdom, and he shall feel himself truly to be the owner of all around him. For what is of Abba Father is the property of his children as well. Love will give you the knowledge to understand the truth which others seek in vain along the rocky roads of science. Allow the Master to guide you in all your actions, words, and thoughts. Be prepared under his pleasing and loving example, and you will manifest the divine love. Thus you will feel nearer to Elohim, for you will be in harmony with him. If you love, you will come to be humble, just as Yahushua was. He who loves understands. He who studies has willpower. He who has willpower can accomplish very much. I say to you that neither elevation nor knowledge will he have, nor will he do great deeds who does not love with all the power of his Ruach. Do not allow your heart to become vain, because your heart symbolizes the flame of eternity from where everything emerges and comes to life. The Ruach utilizes the heart to manifest its love through the human body. However, if your love is only physical, law within your love will only be temporary, because your body is temporary. But when your love is spiritual, it will be similar to that of the Divine Father, who is eternal, perfect, and unchangeable. All life and all creation are related to the Ruach because it possesses eternal life. Do not limit yourself. Love me and love one another, because you are children of a being who possesses infinite love. That being is Elohim himself. Elevate yourselves on the path that leads to the mountaintop. And with every step you take, you will understand my teachings better and will perfect yourselves more to understand the divine language. What is the language of the Ruach? It is love. Love is the universal language. Do you not see that human love also speaks? Many times it does not need words, but speaks better with deeds and with thoughts. If human love manifests itself in this way, how shall your language be when you are perfected in my law? If you consider that I am wisdom, that wisdom comes from love. If you recognize me as judge, that justice is based in love. If you believe I am powerful, my power is built on love. If you know that I am eternal, my eternity comes from love. For it is life, and life makes Ruach immortal. Love is light, life, and knowledge. And I have given you that seed from the beginning of time. It is the only one that I, the perfect sower, have planted in the land of your hearts. The overall power of love. O men and women of the world who have forgotten in your sciences the only thing that will make you wise and happy. You have forgotten about the love which inspires all, the love which does everything and changes everything. You live in pain and in darkness, for by not practicing the love which I teach you, you bring about your physical or spiritual suffering. In order to discover and understand my messages, first you need to be kind and humble of heart, virtues which exist within every Ruach since the moment of their creation. But to feel the true elevated feeling of love, you need to spiritualize yourselves, cultivating your good sentiments. But you have wanted to have everything in life except spiritual love. During all times you have had guides who have taught you the power of love. They have been your most advanced brethren with a greater understanding of my law and a greater purity in their deeds. They have come to give you an example of strength, love, and humility by exchanging their life of errors and sins for an existence dedicated to righteousness, sacrifice, and charity. From infancy to old age, you have clear examples of all that can be accomplished by love and the pains which can originate by the lack of charity. But you, more insensible than the rocks, have not been able to learn the teachings and examples that your daily living offers. Have you sometimes observed how even the wild animals gently respond to a call of love? Well, in the same manner, the elements can respond, the forces of nature and all that exists within the material and spiritual world. That is why I say to you that you should bless everything with love in the name of Abba Father and Creator of the universe. To bless means to saturate. To bless is to feel righteousness, to say it, and to deliver it. To bless is to impregnate all that surrounds you with thoughts of love. Truly, I tell you that love is the unchangeable force that moves the universe. Love is the beginning and the essence of life. I am initiating a time of spiritual resurrection for all, a time in which I will cause the flowering of that blessed seed of love that I poured out over the world from the top of a stake, announcing to you that when men love one another as I taught them to, Death will have been dislodged from the world, and in its place life will reign over humanity and be manifest in all their works. My peace be with you.